Alright, hey there, Prox Gaming Crew, and this is Proxify here, and we are back for some more of the Final Fantasy Town Let's Play. And if you did miss out during the last one, well, we went and rode on a shoe puff and headed on into a new part of the Moonflow. Now we're almost close to Guadalajara, but before we actually went and rode onto the shoe puff and reached on into this destination, we actually had to go and fight with the extractor boss, which we were trying to figure out who was the person that was actually controlling around within that extractor boss. And that said person is going to be by Rikku here, and we're going to be learning about how the stealing functionality is going to be used a little bit more throughout our time. And I know that we didn't really go and use too much about with Rikku. We kind of learned about how the mixed functionality was working around with her overdrive. We're still going to be doing some more of that here within this type of particular segment right now. But yeah, so anytime that we go and do any type of battles with a certain enemy, there'll probably be somewhat of a chest that is going to be lurking around within the battle as well too, and you can go out of your way, use with Rikku, steal out the treasure chest, and you can probably get yourself with some special nice good rewards from there. Now, not only that, but since we do have Rikku, not only do treasure chests actually do have somewhat of stealing type of things to go for, but you can also steal from other different enemies as well too, and you can get some pretty nice good handy dandy stuff. Now, if you ever do want to go and fight with some of those Ochos, they do have a remedy that you can go and find, and they will always have unlimited amount of supply, I believe, of remedies, because I believe in this game of Final Fantasy X, there's not really a certain max limit when it comes to actually stealing stuff. It will take a little bit of some time though, because every time that you keep on stealing, I think you kind of have to give it like a few seconds or so until like the enemy gets back into the way of having that said item again. Because, like, if you guys remember, back in episode 1-ish, I want to say, when we had Rikku before, we were able to go and steal with some of the different grenades from the different fish and everything that was going on from our time there. And you can go and keep on stealing those over and over and over again. But, yeah, but there is going to be a point in time, though, where the enemy is going to have to kind of wait a little bit, and then you can go in and re-steal those items again, but... So yeah, so right now this is just somewhat of a regular normal battle. I know that this kind of seems a little bit weird that we've already seen these guys before, but the only reason why that I'm going to be showing this off to you guys is that here is a chest that you can go and find during your travels of these enemies that will also be showing up as well too in the process. But again, these guys are really no type of pushover. We've already seen these guys before back in our time of the beginning of the Moonflow, right? When we were just kind of like crossing throughout well, after the destruction that happened within the Mihan High Road there. But anyways, we got it. These enemies are down and out. We could go and keep on moving forth. And Guadalajara is just literally, I want to say, just a few more inches away from here. And once we go and do that, we will be able to head on into this web. Now, there's nothing really too much going on within this area, and I think all that we really have to go and do is just keep on heading straight across from here, and we'll be able to enter on into this village that is going to be showing up within Guadalajara. So let's go and do that, shall we? And get to see what is showing up here. Now, there is going to be an Albed primer that will be happening within this area, so just make sure to keep on an eye out for that if you are planning to get a majority of the different Albed primers. We're going to try to at least manage out on grabbing up with all the different Albed primers here, because I would like to at least see what we got for specialized rewards that are going to be here. So this is Trommel. This is another part of the Guados that are here.
Oh, I beg your pardon. I am called Trommel Guado. I am in the direct service.
So he's kind of like the butler, I guess, of sorts here with Maester Seymour. But we will be meeting up with that guy soon. But it's just that for right now, once we're kind of all said and done here, we're just going to do a little bit of some quick exploration around within the town or within the village and get to see what Guadalajara is all about within our way. Now, there is a weapon shop here. I don't really know per se exactly on what type of items I may probably want to go out and grab, but I think for right now, we'll just kind of hold that off. I'll probably do some off-record stuff and then maybe just let you guys know about what I go and buy right on after, but I'm going to go and basically cut through here with this whole customization stuff. Basically, I'll just kind of give you guys somewhat of a brief detail about how that all works. Basically, the customization here in this game is that I want to say that most of your items that you have that as our equipment, well, well, the items that you go and find, right? Like you have like your potions and all these other different type of gear and other things that you went and like stole from like different enemies and whatnot. You can actually use those as somewhat of a customized equipment to get certain specialized abilities, you know. And you could get like maybe lightning strike. You could also get a fire attack for it. You could also have some sort of like blizzard type of area or something like that. Like you can do like a whole bunch of other different things. Now, unfortunately, here that since it is somewhat like of early type of time of how the customization is going to work, we're not going to really worry about it all that too much. We'll probably do more so of the customization a little bit later on throughout the game. But I know that we are going to be getting ourselves with something special within our Brotherhood sword, because you guys remember that was something that Waka when it gave us. Over here in Guadalajara, there is a place known as the Far Plane, which Maid-chan is actually going to be talking to us about right here, right now.
Normal performance. Or maybe not, who knows? And that, as they say,
so I think that was all about how the Far Plane is. Now we're also going to be learning about how the Fireflies are going to be all about as well too. Now the Far Place is kind of like almost something out of like a purgatory type of state or something like that, right? Where it's kind of like a half and half type of area. It's like you're almost about to be like heading to heaven, but it's just like in this type of weird, like very null type of state where we are going to be meeting up with Waka's brother, which that is where we're going to be able to get the upgraded Brotherhood sword, which we're going to be able to go and use and see what type of damage that we can be able to go and give off with there. There is a save point, if you ever do want to go and use that at this point in time, which that is what I'm going to probably have to go and do as well a little bit later. Now, with these two videos for today, not only are we going to just be doing our time with, of course, of just with Final Fantasy X, but we're also, of course, going to have to do some more of what Yokai Watch 3 is going to be. We are going to have to go and continue onwards with the Chapter 2 of our way of that one buck. I believe that is for Nate's story that's going to be happening, and we're still going to go and continue onwards throughout there. Now, I don't think we can really go ahead into this direction just yet. It seems like that guy's kind of blocking our way there, so we're going to have to wait a little bit for that. Now go into one of these houses here. I believe this is the one house in particular, and you can go and search that. Hey, there's a one of these outbid primers here, so there we go. So that's another one. And don't even forget that there is going to be 3,000 gil out of all things, just kind of just chilling there, which I can't believe nobody else has ever went and picked up with that chest yet if it's going to be having 3,000 gil. Now, there is also another treasure chest just right around where Seymour's place is, and we can go and add that to our inventory. And here is the door for us to continue onwards within our main mission that is happening for right now. Now, this is where we can go and interact with some of our characters out here and get some flavor text if we ever do need it. And we'll also kind of learn a little bit about what this whole type of place is all about here, I think, by with Lulu. Now, I don't know if I ever went and talked to you guys about what was going on Friday Night SmackDown, but seems like there's some interesting things that are brewing around within the bloodline at this point in time. I know that I just went and saw that looked like Kevin Owens and Tama Tonga were having their brawl that was showing up within Friday Night SmackDown. And I believe the draft was actually showing up for that time for today, which that was, well, during that time of Friday, which that was actually pretty nice. Again, there wasn't really anything like too special within the draft. There wasn't really any type of like noteworthy stuff except for like the NXT members actually showing up within the draft, but that was basically about it. Hopefully, for me personally is that maybe for Monday Night Raw, we could potentially see hopefully at least some new members of like of the different rosters actually start like going around into like the different well, kind of switching up their ways, because so far throughout the draft, it was just that there was like really hardly anything that was going on that was really all that too noteworthy about. It was like some wrestlers were kind of like just literally just sticking into the same type of area that they were already at from originally from before, which that just was just really annoying. Like, if you're gonna have a draft, then at least have people start moving around, not just like making them like just stay at in one spot like for another time.
There's no temple here in Guadalajara.
Well, we already kind of saw that already.
Summoners usually just pass through on their way elsewhere.
So I wonder wherever is this other temple going to be then?
I didn't even ask a question and you're explaining things.
You'd rather I say nothing then?
Because if Guadalajara doesn't have anything as for a temple,
Maybe you
and we already
finally
met through
believe I
like the
don't know
Doge
anything
temple,
about Spira.
wonder what the next one's going to be happening.
Maybe that means you believe me about Xanarkin too?
Well, there are many things I do not know. Your Xanarkind is one of those things. I suppose I can't say what I think either way. Still, be careful. You shouldn't tell
Yeah.
other people.
Yeah, I know.
Well, we'll have to be really careful with that. I know that we already kind of heard about that during our travels with Arin, right? Because like Arin already already told us before that that if we went and start going about like all of our things about us being a Xanarkin, like I don't know if that's gonna have some sort of like consequences or stuff to it. Now, here in this segment is going to be somewhat interesting, is that we're going to be hearing about what Seymour's goal, I guess, is going to be happening for right now. And that is because that, I guess throughout here is that Seymour wants to, I guess, apparently try to have some sort of marriage with Seymour and Yuna that's going to be happening. Which that's going to be pretty interesting there.
You sure you don't have something against Yevon?
I lived a long time in Xanarkand.
So how old is this guy? Well, because this is during the time where Xanarkand got destroyed, right? But for what this segment was actually going on and talking about though is that well, there's gonna be a segment where we will be seeing Xanarkand, but from like 1,000 years ago, right? So I'm just kind of confused about like how old is actually Arin actually is.
Really such a great guy?
Because if we're already here in the place of like where Xanarkand got destroyed,
Truly a great man.
Truly a loss for us all. But now a new leader, Lord Seymour, has come before us. Lord Seymour is the child of a Guado and a human. He will be the tie that binds our two races together. But that is not all, I think. Lord Seymour, he will surely become the shining star that lights the way for all the peoples of Spira.
That is enough trouble. Must I always...
This guy is always super suspicious every time. It's kind of interesting at first that that he was just basically as like somewhat of a guest type of Final Fantasy character for a little bit on our team.
There's no rush.
Please keep this short.
But I still think he's very suspicious person.
It has been a long time since I had guests. Lady Yuna, this way.
So now we're going to be seeing how Xanarkand actually looked like. Well, basically, well, for what Seymour was saying, 1,000 years ago. This guy almost has a little bit of like, I guess like in the Final Fantasy VII remake game, they kind of must have probably took like this type of inspiration to how Final Fantasy X was kind of looking like here. Because like I know that kind of like changed up like the cutscene around like when you start going into what was that one like facility is like Shinra or something? You got to go and head into that area for that place.
Xanarkand?
Correct. Xanarkand, as it looked 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, I remember playing some Blitzball down over there since like episode 1.
The great and wondrous Machina city, Xanarkand. She once lived in this metropolis.
She who?
Well, we're going to be finding that out here in just in a few seconds. We're going to be meeting up with a character by the name of Yuna Leska. But this is a pretty nice, good pad.
Lady Yunaleska,
She was the first person to defeat sin and save the world from its ravages. And you have inherited her name.
It was my father who named me.
Lord Braska was entrusting you with a great...
So I guess we're gonna probably see Lord Braska in this type of portion of this type of dimension as well too, I guess, right?
Lady Yunalesca did not save the world alone. To defeat the
Now, while Seymour is going and talking about all this type of stuff that's happening throughout here at Final Fantasy X, I just heard recently that there is going to be some new features or something, or some new stuff that is going on within the Nintendo Switch 2. Apparently, that the controllers are actually going to be somewhat of a, like a magnetized type of thing where you can actually attach them like on both sides of the tablet, compared to like using them as like a roller type of way of like how the original Nintendo Switch was all about. So that's something interesting there. And not only that, but there's gonna be like a few new like button prompts as well too, which apparently there's gonna be like some buttons that are gonna be on the back of the new Joy-Cons that are gonna be somewhat like somewhat of like a PAL shifter type of button. So I wonder how that's going to kind of work around with, like, the only thing I can really think of is that could actually be like somewhat used of like PAL shifters for like a game would probably actually have to be somewhat of of a racing game, or maybe something out of like a sports game or something. But that's all that I can really go and think about, like if you ever want to use those PAL shifter buttons. Oh, so now you just get it all blushed up here. Because now Yuna just went and learned that she has to get married to the Seymour guy.
Wow, your face is beet red.
You okay?
He asked me to marry
Whoa.
him.
You serious? Hey!
You know what Yuna must do.
Of course. Lady Yuna. No, all summoners are charged with bringing peace to Spira. But this means more than just defeating sin. She must ease the suffering of all Spira. She must be a leader for the people. I proposed to Lady Yuna as a maester of Yevon.
Spira is no playhouse. A moment's diversion may amuse an audience, but it changes nothing.
Even so, the actors must play their parts. There's no need to answer right away. Please, think it over.
We will do so then.
Okay, so at least there's nothing somewhat that's going to be like a permanent type of thing, so that's a good idea. So, at least Yuna gets to go and just think about it over.
Why are you still here, sir?
What? Why is he still here? What are you talking about?
I beg your pardon. We Guado are keen to the scent of the far plane.
Come on, Titus. Why are you literally sniffing this man? What the heck? Huh.
Yuna, the High Summoner's daughter. Seymour, the leader of the Guado. Married in the name of Yevon. Overcoming the barriers of race. It would give Spira something cheery to talk about for a change.
Sounds just like a passing daydream, like Oren says.
Come on, let's just get on with the pilgrimage. I mean, marriage?
Jealous.
Well, I know that Titus had a little bit of some crushing on Yuna there.
Romance can wait.
You could probably be a little bit jealous.
Fine time to lay this one on us.
Maybe it is a fine time.
You serious?
If my getting married would help Spira, if it would make people happy, if I could do that for people, maybe I should do what I can. I never imagined doing anything like this. But I won't answer till I know what's right.
Seriously?
You could always just quit your pilgrimage and get married.
I will. Go on. I'm sure that Lord Seymour will understand.
We still got like plenty more other temples to go through, right?
I am a summoner. I must fight and defeat sin.
Like Braska before you.
I had to stop myself from shouting. What's there to think about?
I'm going to...
And that's where we're going to be going as well, too.
I'm going to see my
Do the
father
fart plan.
and think on this.
Go on. We'll be right behind you.
I wondered why none of the others ever asked Yuna. Do you love
But we're going to
Seymour?
end things off here for today.
you
Still
even
thank you guys
like
so much
him?
for watching. And of course, see you then, and peace.